means we are very genuine. We are very sincere. We are very convinced and committed to our relationship with Allah. And thus we are here to preserve that relationship, no matter what. We are here to build our confidence, our solace, our safety, our security, and distance our vulnerability on that foundation. We are to build our pursuit of solace and tranquility on that foundation. And we are committed to become trustees, responsible personnel on that basis. So a characteristic of kufr that we should be aware of is the characteristic of making excuses about the things that we need to be part of, that we need to do. Especially when we look at ourselves and who we are and where we are and who depend on us and what's our role in life. Can you imagine if we start to make excuses about our responsibilities to our families? We start to make excuses that I do not have time for my children. I'm too busy. I start to make excuses I do not have time to close the doors properly. Oh, I was too busy, I didn't get to shut the windows properly. I'm too busy, I can't take care of the lawn. I mean, the end of excuse is almost to the sky. And this is something, as you meet one another, this is a challenge. And the Qur'an reminds us, there is no need to make excuse, because you will reap what you work for. Your actions are relative to the crops, figuratively, you reap. The Qur'an mandated the Prophet to make jihad against kufr. Now there is a misconception about jihad, even with Muslims, much less non-Muslims. They feel it's holy war. I don't know which war is unholy. But there is nothing like this in the Qur'an. The most significant ingredients of jihad is the human being is giving his or her best effort for the achievement of lofty goals, of lofty values, of lofty edifices in society. It has nothing about fighting. It has nothing about killing. In fact, I should say that in many ways, the meaning and teachings of the Qur'an has been mistranslated and misrepresented. That you hear a lot of talk about fighting. You hear a lot of talk about killing. Is it that they are not other meanings? They are far more different meanings. And God does not empower me or you to kill one another. It's not our job to do that. And the explanation, yes, killing is not allowed but by justification. Ask all those people who are killing others, they have justification. Are you going to say that your justification is right and theirs are wrong? They're saying the same thing. They say our justification is right, yours is wrong. You are in the wrong. That's why we kill you. God's guidance is not about killing. And I will explain the word of the Qur'an to all of us just now. So in chapter 66 verse 9, the Qur'an mandated the Prophet not to be lackadaisical, not to be indifferent. Because kufr relates with indifference. When you and I are indifferent to the challenges of life, we are exhibiting characteristics of kufr. When you and I continue to hear good things, observe good things, are touched by good things, we read it, we study it, but no change takes place in our life, then something is happening in our inside. Kufr is growing. Because kufr has everything to do with indifference. So jihad is the opposite of indifference. Jihad means all-out effort to react and to respond to the stimuli in the environment that requires nothing less than a holistic approach with all of one's heart, all of one's might, and all of one's mind. And that's why all the messengers of God had to perform jihad. That doesn't mean they had to learn how to fight and take a sword and kill people. This is what vilify the personality and the character and the role of messengers of God. They were not sent to kill anybody. The fundamental human value is self-preservation. So if somebody is going to put you to pieces, it's your responsibility to prevent that. But you have no authority to go out there and cut off people's head and cut off their hands and cut off their feet. No God has authorized this. This is the translation that has the Muslim world in a limbo. Because each group almost has the authority to do what they feel like doing, even if it means killing. They say the means justify the ends. Because there is a greater end goal, we can kill people, even innocent people. What they call in modern warfare, collateral damage. You bomb, you're fighting a terrorist, there is one terrorist, if you kill 100,000 people in collateral damage, too bad for them. You know, is this the deen of Allah? This cannot be the deen of Allah. This is the way, this is the religion of people. So the Prophet was told, Ya ayyuhan nabiyyu, wake up, O Prophet. That doesn't mean he was asleep. It's an expression. Wake up. Assert yourself. This ya is to assert him. Jahid al-kuffar. Jahid al-kuffar. And jihad means to give your very best. Jihad means to leave nothing except that you have given it. It has nothing to do with killing people, has nothing to do with bombing, has nothing to do with helicopters or planes. Of course, if you have to do good for human beings, then all means should be utilized. If you want to make roads, you can use dynamites perhaps if that's the only way. And you are not going to destroy the environment or destroy the geography. But there is nowhere in the language or in the Qur'an that jihad means to put somebody on a horse and give him a gun or give him a sword or give him a spear and you say this is called fi sabilillah. This is paganism. So the Prophet was told, Jahid al-kuffar wal-munafiqeen. Because kufr and nifaq, they go hand in hand. So the Qur'an told the Prophet, it is your responsibility not to be idle, not to be lackadaisical, not to take things lightly, not to be listless when you're dealing with these things, but to be very proactive against two advocates of society. People who do not accept the divine system, thus they're out to blot it out, they're out to make sure the divine guidance does not prevail, and who are out to just relate with the fact because they have spent all their resources. You and I are always on trial. You and I are always on trial. We are being tested. We are being tested to see what's our mantle, what we are made of, what we are capable of. It's not about mouth. It's about proving ourselves. And here are some interesting verses. Chapter 3, Surah Al-Imran 166.